Alrighty, guys. This is week, what are we at? Week 12 right now of the Steelers season. And I could go into long detail about what happened on Thursday night, the whole thing about the fight, the brawl, and all that kind of stuff. But they are going to, the Steelers and Browns are going to play each other in a couple of weeks. So I'll save my overall thoughts on that whole thing for next week. But today they revealed all the suspensions and fines and all that kind of stuff. It was like over $1 million worth of fines for the Steelers and both them and the Browns. And like I said, I've been processing this. I've been trying to figure out how to express my thoughts on this whole thing. But once again, I'll say that for next week whenever they play the Steelers play the Browns at Heinz Field, because I think that's going to be a very interesting game. Much like this week is going to be a very interesting game, because the Steelers right now, they don't really have that much wiggle room. They pretty much have to win every single game at this point if they want to have even a shot at the wild card right now, because they're banged up right now. Of course, everything that happened last week, no James Conner, Juju Smith-Schuster for this game coming up against the Bengals. And the Bengals right now, they're not a good team, but I don't know, man. Like, I have my doubts about this one. I still think the Steelers will win this one, but it's like going back to what I said back when this team played the Bengals the first time around. You don't want to be that team that loses to a winless football team, especially in the situation that the Steelers are right now. I think it's on my head that let's assume that the Steelers do lose to the Bengals, and then a game that they have to win the next week against the Browns, they lose that game. I'm thinking that maybe Mike Tomlin gets fired after this game, or some people on the coaching staff get fired from this game if they lose these next two games. Be like a similar situation to what happened with Mike McCarthy and the Green Bay Packers, and then they start the search for a new coach the next year. It's the next season, because at that point, it's pretty much the season's over at that point. But I mean, going into this game, this is a really tough game going into this game coming up against the Bengals. It's a really tough game because, for the most part, both of these teams are banged up. You're not going to have a lot of the main stars on these teams. Like the Steelers won't have Smith-Schuster or James Conner. They will have Deontay Johnson back, which was good to see that he's back on the lineup. Most of the people there are going to be of course, you don't have Marquise Pouncey, who is suspended for the next two games. He got that reduced from 3 early to 2. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, no Andy Dalton. A.J. Green still isn't in the lineup. Their wide receiving core is banged up. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to say that the Bengals have a good chance of winning this game, but this is going to be a close one. Like, I think much closer than I think anyone would have imagined it. I think the Steelers win this game. They have to win. I have to believe that they have to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive at this point, because, you got the Raiders coming up. They're playing very well right now. The Texans just beat the Colts. The Colts are still in their hunt. Who else is in the hunt right now? Trying to remember who else is in the hunt right now. The Browns, of course. They're slim playoff chances rest on what happens tomorrow and next week. They play the Dolphins tomorrow, but see how they do without Myles Garrett or Larry Ogunjobi. But for this game in particular, I do think the Steelers will win this one. But part of me really has this feeling in the back of my head that the Bengals might try to sneak a win out of here. I hope that's not the case. The Bengals are not that good of a football team right now. I'm going to say the Steelers win this one. Hopefully, they've got to win this one. They've got to win this one, and they got to win this next one against the Browns to even keep their playoff chances alive. Because I think the division right now is pretty much locked up, because Baltimore right now is just too good. But like I said, I think that the Steelers have to win this game and the next game to keep their playoff chances alive at this point. So hopefully, they get out of here with a win tomorrow. Out of Cincinnati with a win tomorrow. And hopefully not more banged up, because I don't know how much more they could take with the injuries.
Time now to beat the bus. Still a tight race with 2 games Bengals last week. We all picked them correctly, so that keeps the one-game difference among all three of us. I'm still in the lead. Jerome, you and Chase are trailing by 1. What's your pick? Steelers at the Bengals.
I'm going with the Steelers. I believe the Steelers will win this football game. It's a game they must win. It's going to be a tight game because the Bengals always play the Steelers tight regardless of who's at quarterback. So I'm going with the Steelers, but by a close margin.
All right, looking now at all of our picks, no surprise, all three of us are picking the Steelers over the Bengals. The FanDuel Sportsbook line, as of this show taping, is Steelers by 6.5. Elsewhere in games involving AFC North teams, Dolphins at the Browns, we're all going with Cleveland to win. The FanDuel Sportsbook betting line is the Browns by 11 points. Finally, Ravens at the Rams. This is where we differ. Jerome, you and I are taking the Ravens. Chase is alone in taking the Rams for the win. The FanDuel...
Well, the Pepsi picks, I'm in last place. I got to do something about that. Charlie's 5-4, Rich is 4-5. Ed leads 6-3, but he has gone on record as saying the Bengals are going to win today. So, Charlie, do you agree with that? Who's your Pepsi pick?
And this will be a game that you will not like to watch. It's going to be ugly, but we have to just because we're Steeler fans. I do think the Steelers ultimately pull this victory out, but it won't be pretty. 16-6, and Boswell is money today.
All right, Rich Walsh, your Pepsi pick.
Hey guys, this one was a tough one for me. I was going back and forth. I thought maybe this could be that bad game the Steelers lose every year, kind of like Oakland last year. They always have one of those bad losses. This could be it, but plus add in all the distractions. But I still think the Steelers are a much better team. This is almost like a home field advantage for the Steelers here. A ton of Steelers fans, especially after the start the Bengals are having right now. I think the Steelers win a close one, but I think they win this game. I like the Steelers winning it with a Boswell kick, 20-17.
All right, thanks, Rich, for that. Have a good day over there in Cincinnati. I just can't bet on an 0-10 football team. I like the Steelers winning 3-2. Charlie, real quick, you have another toy drive coming up.
For the next few weeks, the Panthers are in New Orleans today. The Steelers hopefully all calmed down from last Thursday night, trying to continue their dominance of the Bengals. And in Oakland flies across the... In a matter of moments, 9 games in the early window. Tampa Bay goes to Atlanta to take on the suddenly hot Falcons. Broncos going to Buffalo to take on the playoff hopeful Bills. Giants and Bears fighting for respectability. The winless Bengals trying to get one over on the Steelers, who are trying to move over 500. Dolphins at the Browns. Both those teams have been reasonably hot lately. Elsewhere, Lore is out as well for the banged-up Birds. Let's go to the Octo Box. We have 8 of the 9 games featured right here as 7 hours of commercial-free football start now. 28 pounds, pushing Snell forward. Back to Snell. Andrew Billings screens Snell. Fourth-year man Adam Baylor makes the play on the drive. It's 2nd and 11.
So, golden opportunity missed for Seattle, and a short field goal is up and good.
Rudolph fires end zone, and it's incomplete. Off the hands of Tevin Jones. And once again, a lot of red zone action happening, as you can see. This is how Pittsburgh got deep into Cincinnati territory. Big shot by Mason Rudolph. And, nice adjustment. And fighting there with the defender was Deion Kane. They just signed him off the practice squad. So they pick up the big gainer there. Of course, no James Conner in this game. No Juju Smith-Schuster. Pittsburgh playing short-handed and trying to now get on the board for the first time today. Boswell is going to have a chip shot here to make it 3-0. Jordan Garrity gobbled a snap against Cleveland is the holder. Boswell's kick is good. So
We have points.
So the scoreless tie is broken there deep into the second quarter. An injury. This appears to be a coach's decision by Mike Tomlin. Devlin Hodges, who had to come in when Rudolph was shaken up earlier in the season. And of course, Ben Roethlisberger out for the year. Devlin Hodges, the duck caller, is in quarterbacking the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you see no athletic trainers around Mason Rudolph. It would appear the young quarterback out of Oklahoma State has been benched.
Hodges struggling with the snap. Throwing it up deep for Washington. Incomplete. There's the flag. On BWI. pass interference. Cincinnati. All right, Hodge is looking deep again. Washington's open.
Go, 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 go! 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 Touchdown!
Oh, what a play! 79 yards!
That's what we needed. That's the motivation we needed. Mighty Duck of Pittsburgh.
Cincinnati got a 3-point game between the Steelers and the Bengals. Keep in mind, Pittsburgh has defeated the Bengals 9 straight times in this division matchup.
I think they want to use a timeout here, but they're going to be hard-pressed to get this ball off.
And it cost a false start on Bobby Hart, the right tackle.
And from up here, it looked like he had the ball long enough. Ball's in. One, two, he has it tucked away. Yes,
yeah, that's a fumble.
To be there to pick it up. Does he say inbounds?
Maybe not.
I think maybe so.
Devin Bush forced the fumble, and of course, as you said, Minka Fitzpatrick with the recovery. He's everywhere.
That's going to be close. Oh, he's in. But out of bounds there.
Benny Snell was injured coming into this game, but he's playing and snapping off a 21-yard pickup. That will chew some clock. Bengals are going to have to burn their timeouts. In New Orleans, we'll go back to the Superdome in a moment. Chris Boswell to make it a 6-point lead is good. Pittsburgh 16, Bengals 10. They have no timeouts remaining. They need a rookie quarterback to take them down the field for a game-winning fourth-quarter touchdown drive. We'll see what happens. The rookie out of North Carolina State. Sack, strip, fumble. Steelers recovery.
Yes.
Bud Dupree is number 48 who gets on
For 85 yards. And he's the running back here on 2nd down and 6. Trying to get to the outside. He can. Snell cuts back at the 5. Wisely goes down inbounds to keep that clock running. Welcome back, Benny Snell.
When your marquee players happen to be on the offensive line, you put them out in front. David DeCastro, number 66, leading the way. Now, this is going to be a nice feel-good win for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Andrew. But I think it opens up some questions. Who's your quarterback going into next week?
And next week, by the way, is against the Cleveland Browns again. Who's your quarterback be, James?
Might be the Duckman.
Yeah. Tough day for Mason
I feel so bad for
Rudolph
him. It's not his fault he's doing terrible. The offensive coordinator's not doing his job. But it's not an easy one, but we are getting the win here.
As soon as we are done here, we'll take you down to New Orleans for bonus coverage as the Panthers and Saints are tied at 31 with 3 minutes to go. Mike Tomlin shaking hands on the sideline. That 4-game winning streak snapped by Cleveland, but they get right back in the win column before taking on the Browns again next week.
And we've heard it time and time again, associated with the Steelers and Mike Tomlin.
One more kneel down.
And think about all the players who came to the forefront today. Benny Snell, he was down at the bottom
Change
of
the
the
score.
List.
The record.
So we update the wild card picture.
And look at that, we're back in the wild card hunt.
They have moved up to the final wild card spot for the time being. The Raiders losing and the Steelers defeating the Bengals 16-10. Pittsburgh now 6-5 on the year.
Change it. There we go. Well, there you have it. It was not an easy game to watch for the most part, but we got the win. It was a close game all around. We luckily didn't lose to Cincinnati, because I feel like if they had lost to Cincinnati, that would have been part one of a really disastrous couple of weeks, because then next week you got the Cleveland Browns, which they blew out the Miami Dolphins. I think it was 41-24, the final score in that one. But interesting game, to say the least. The defense finally got the turnover machine working again. Mason Rudolph got benched after the I don't know if he got benched before the is at the half, or played a little bit in the third, and then they switched over to Devlin Hodges. But once Devlin Hodges came in, the wheels started to come together, and they just took over the rest of the game. So yeah, that's going to open up a very interesting quarterback controversy here. Like, who do you play next week against the Browns? Do you play Mason Rudolph, try to get him his revenge game, or do you play Devlin Hodges and hope that he can put together a better game for you? Needless to say, it's going to be a very interesting week, but you know what? 6-5. The Steelers somehow got back into the AFC wildcard 6th spot. And not much more to say about this one, except we move on to the Cleveland Browns next week at home. Let's hope they can get revenge after what happened on Thursday night.